right, our guest on Strike a Chord is indie pop artist Chloe Wilder, who has recently debuted her new EP, Teenage Lullabies, joining us on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show. And I know she's about to come on in. We know the
Yeah, we're
world of
having her
Zoom.
start her
I think
video.
you would be
Thank
more
you.
involved with Zoom than anything. What's going on, Chloe? How you
Whoa, you
doing?
got some red filters happening.
I do. I have
Wow.
my pink light on.
I love it.
I like
You're already
it.
setting the tone already.
Oh
And I
yeah.
love it. I mean, very much the aesthetic of your cover for Teenage Lullabies. And let's get right on into it, Chloe, because, you say that you're a sad girl because, you seem like a lovely gal, though. Why do you personally connect with writing sad music?
It's literally just the way I've always written. When I started writing music when I was 12, I went to my first writing camp when I was 12, and they asked me what I wanted to write, and it just came out as sad music, and that's what I listen to myself. It's just so easy, and that's what naturally comes out no matter what I'm writing about. But yeah, I think it's just like my comfort zone, and more recently I've tried to get out of it, but I am definitely a sad girl, and I couldn't even tell you why.
Well, you're so young, and my whole thing was, it's like, obviously when you listen to mainstream media, there's a lot of popular music today that's all about, degrading women. You got the man whores, the sex, drugs, rock and roll, you name it. But your lyrics are deeply personal when it comes to your opening track on Teenage Lullabies. The track's called It's True, and you sing this particular line that stuck with me. It says, "Bodies like museums, displayed in pieces, proving that we're women, and call it freedom." What is this teenage lullaby that you sing of?
Well, that line in particular, I think just being a teenage girl, and I've been on social media like professionally since I was 11. So I think I've just really seen the dark side of the media from a teenage girl's perspective. And I think that we've all had those experiences. So yeah, I don't think it's a very pretty place to be on as a young girl. But I mean, I'm still doing it, and I'm making it work.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was important to talk about. But yeah, I just think that we're constantly being objectified, especially on there, and especially as young women. And as a young female artist too, I felt like it was important to talk about.
I like that you bring this up because, like, I've looked at your stuff on Insta and going through your music videos, and I didn't realize how old you were.
Mm-hmm.
You're 14. And when I look at your stuff, I see a young woman who's about, I would peg you about 17-ish, just because of how you're putting yourself out there in a way of an older teenager. And when I say that, it's sexuality, stuff like that. And for me, I love that you brought this up because I became sexually active at a very young age. I was 12. I said, I'm going to grow up. This is it. Biggest mistake of my life. Yeah. Right. And now I'm a mother to a young girl, and seeing that you're out here now, how do you stay enjoying 14? The carefree time. What do you do to keep that part of yourself versus jumping into being grown up?
I don't think I've ever acted my age, and I don't think I am now. So I would say like I'm still enjoying 14, but I don't think I am, because I'm not going to regular school. I'm virtual schooled. I'm an artist. Like, I basically have a job, but that's kind of the way I wanted it to be. I've never really felt my age, and I feel like now I'm actually putting it out into the world, and I'm making the music that I want to make, and it's showing that I've never felt my age. So yeah, I really don't know. I don't balance it well. I really think I've grown up too fast, but like it was my own doing, and I'm pretty aware of that. But I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way, because I'm very like comfortable in my own skin now, because I know that it's okay to not feel how old you are, and I've gotten more comfortable with that.
Well, I do touch on it very well when you were talking about your lyrics in your particular line. It's true. And I wanted to ask you this question before we play the music video. I know the first social media I was kind of introduced. I mean, obviously AOL Messenger was kind of there, but I don't really consider that so much a social media network. My first one was MySpace, and I remember how much of a pain in the ass it was to decide who were the top 8 to be in there, because friends can be very clashy, and so I just put bands there. What social media account did you jump on first?
Instagram. And I had Instagram, I think I got Instagram when I was 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was in high school. So.
Pretty jaded with social media. But Yeah, and I had that, and I mean, I had like 200 followers. I had like my school and my bio and like my age. Like I was super. It was just very like a normal way to use social media. But then I started using it professionally like the following year, and I think that's why we have such a weird relationship because I never really got to know social media in a way that was purely for social use.
Right. And I know we're about to be playing you your opening track to your EP, Teenage Lullabies, and this song is called It's True.
Maybe there's a reason we're all leaving, move to different places, following our demons, bodies like museums, displayed in pieces, proving that we're women and call it freedom. I see visions, plans we're making. Every time I close my eyes, I don't make friends cause I'll break them. What a teenage lullaby. And it won't last, but they say that it's the best time of our lives. Out the night until I die. It's true. It's true. It's I've been falling for the bad ones. I've been falling trying to find love, but they've been running on the same tracks, and I'm running out of patience. If you could give me just a few months, I'll be playing with the grown-ups. You'll always wonder why you never even tried. I see visions, plans we're making. Every time I close my eyes, I don't make friends cause I'll break them. What a teenage lullaby. And it won't last, but they say that it's the best time of our lives. Out the night until I die. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's
But that
I
was
love the picture of you in the water and like just lying there. I want that. I want that photo shoot. That's the photo shoot I want. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
But you know, Marissa already jumped on this, but this was something I wanted to talk with you right after this song. But I find what an incredible milestone in your early career to rack up over 150,000 plus views on multiple music videos without even playing a single live concert yet at the age of 14. That is so insane.
And during a pandemic, like, I'm sorry, like getting word out,
right.
getting word out during a pandemic is so hard because we're being forced with so much stuff happening all the time, put into our face on social media. So the fact that people are seeing your stuff, gravitating towards it, liking it, playing it, sharing it, kudos, dude.
Thank you.
So, like, what is your message for young artists and fans struggling to find the light at the end of the tunnel during COVID-19? Because obviously you got it going on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just so lucky about the people I'm surrounded with and that I actually have a good team. And I feel like that's what got me here because during COVID, I can only work with a few people at a time. And so my team has gotten smaller and smaller, and now it's just like this core group of people, and we work really well together. And I think that that's the only thing that like got me through it, because I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. And that's like I can't say that that's like my piece of advice or anything, because it's hard to say, oh, just find good people to be around. But I mean, I took this time too to like find my creative process and find how I do want to put myself out there and how I want to present myself. I made this whole EP during the pandemic, and I feel like that is how I look at it now. I just was forced to take time to figure out myself artistically, and I feel like that's a really, really good thing that I wasn't doing before. So that's what I'd say. Like if you're struggling with the fact that, you know, you can't play live shows, just think about how good your live shows are going to be once you can, because you're taking this time to really perfect your craft. And then when you can put it out there in people's faces in real life, they're going to love you even more because it's perfect. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Do you feel like being in a pandemic for up and coming artists has kind of created this like equal playing ground for anybody to kind of find their spotlight?
You know, I don't know. I guess in a way, I feel like we're all struggling. So that's probably what it is, because it's new for everybody. Nobody knows how to navigate this. So I think definitely that we're all pretty equal right now, because we're all just trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to figure out how to, you know, use social media to talk to our fans and how to get ourselves out there without playing live shows. So I totally think it's gotten more equal.
And I love that you said how like staying on your laurels and like staying, you know, every artist that was on the 2020 grind, when 2021 allows us to go out and be in concert, you're the artists that are going to make that difference versus the ones that just sat during 2020 being sad and depressed and not making art.
But the thing that I wanted to mention with you though, Chloe, is I feel like this pandemic is robbing the cradle from your generation, because I hope you, Chloe, is finding some time to just be 14. You know, it's a long journey to being an adult. So is there anything outside music that has contributed to your musicality? Like, you know, is there a hobby that kind of gets your creative juices going when something does not click for you?
You know, I wish I could tell you there was one. But honestly, this is like the only thing I do. Like it's really just music. And I mean, I'm virtual schooled, so I do school, and that's really it. And I feel like whenever I'm not doing school, I just want to write music because I love it. And it's kind of everything for me. It's therapeutic, and I'm putting it out there and people are listening to it. It's my art. Like, I feel like it's just kind of works for me like that. But I mean, I feel like what I draw inspiration from is mostly just the people around me. And that's obviously something that's changed too during this pandemic. So I mean, just spending time with people is really where I get it. I don't really have any other hobbies.
Well, I was gonna say, Chloe, this track that we're about to play is my favorite song off your EP, Teenage Lullabies, and this song is called I Want to Be Alone With You. And I wanted to ask you this before we start playing the track. You sing more than once in this song. It's so bittersweet. I could stay here for the rest of my life. If looks could kill, then I'd die. And when I first heard that, I mean, I got this upbeat feeling that you're making fun of the idea of daydreaming about teenage love. Am I onto something?
You kind of are, because it's like, I never write songs like this. And so I feel like the song is so in your face and confident that it has to be sarcastic. But I mean, honestly, I feel like it's kind of how I think when I'm in those scenarios. I mean, we're going to be together forever type of thing. But like, it's not like that. So I feel like that's just how we think. As I mean, I don't know about the whole teenage population, but that's how I see it. So yeah, I was just kind of like, but we never say it. Like, that's how we're thinking, but we would never say that to a person's face. Like, you're so hot, I'm gonna die. Like, we'd never.
Right.
So it's just, I just said everything that we're kind of thinking, I think.
I love it. Well, I know my mom's gonna kill me, but I used to make this joke all the time. You know, if you could be a bachelor till you're 40 and Bill Maher can do it, then I can too. So you don't have to always rush love, but this is Chloe Wilder, and this is her track, I Want to Be Alone With You.
Since I saw you around, if you come over, then we could work it out. I can see us ready forever. We don't have to speak. We can do whatever. It's so bittersweet. How will in the end of the night?
That is Cloe Wilder, and you are listening to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, and this is Strike a Chord, where we break down all the greatest hits. If you actually physically or digitally pick up that record, you're going to know this track. And that song was called I Want to Be Alone with You, which I absolutely love. That's one of my favorite pre-courses going in. It just really kicks off strong. And I don't know about you, Chloe. Have you read some of your comments online? Because they're pretty good. I mean, there's one in particular, and I know we're going to be playing this music video for the listening audience. And that song is, this comment was under your Call Me If You Need Me. And this person, this individual said, I'm sorry, but no other person is doing it like Chloe. And she's age 14. I mean, how cool is that to have people recognize real, right?
It makes me feel so good because even though I'm like confident in my music that I'm putting out, it's really, really nice to hear other people say it. And yeah, I love reading those comments.
So you are one of those people that will read, because I know some people, when they start to get that rising fame, it's like, oh my gosh, do I even want to look? I know sometimes even with our own content, I'm like, oh God, do I even want to read some of the the buffoons online? But you actually got a nice positivity crowd.
I've noticed that too. I'm lucky that like I haven't gotten really a lot of negative feedback. And also I feel like, it's real people really listening to my music. And I feel like it's kind of, this is just my personal thing. Like I feel like I kind of owe it to them to at least like, read what they're saying, especially since I am still a smaller artist. Like I want to be able to talk to them personally while I can. And so that's why, I do my own Instagram and I do all of that because I like to actually talk to them, because it just means so much that they're like taking the time out of their day to listen to what I'm reading.
You remind me of Ariana Grande with responding back to your fans. It's one reason why she is as big as she is. I mean, her music's amazing, but her fan base is so loyal because she does reach out. And you totally have this like old soul vibe. So even though you're 14, you really are handling yourself from what I can see as a mature young woman. And I give you props, man, because I'm telling you, as a young girl, I was the opposite. I mean, I was definitely like partying hard and crazy and out of control at 14. You got your stuff together.
But I would say, I feel like I'm talking to a young artist who finally gets it. And not enough up and coming artists do what you've been doing, especially in your early career. And that's recording cover songs to enhance your exposure to a new audience. And that's something I never understood still to this day, why no one does that enough. And when did you start recording cover songs?
Ooh, I was 12, I think, because I just went to my first writing camp and I was like, actually, I had a bunch of original music that I could have been putting out, but that felt like too serious to start off with. So then, I just decided to do some cover songs to like introduce myself to people, but not in such a formal, serious way, like putting out your own original music. And also I felt like it really helped when I did finally start putting out music, because people knew me already and they knew me as a musician, but they didn't know me as an artist. So it totally, I'm really glad that I did that.
And do you remember the first cover song you ever recorded?
Last Christmas by Wham, I think. That was the first one that was the first one that made it out, but the first one I ever recorded was Blue Velvet.
Ooh, see, that's not an easy song to sing. So kudos for you to do that. I think that's so cool. And we're about to be playing you a track off one of your singles, and this is called Call Me If You Need.
Good things come to those who wait. I'm older, but it's not too late. I'm moving to a whole new state. I guess we couldn't fight our fate. It's over, you know it. Live and let go. It's darkest before the new dawn. We hold on to the moment, scared to let go. It takes time moving on, and I don't miss you tonight. Looking for a reason I should stay another night. Call me if you need me, but I need to find my way, even if it's not right. Used to be alone for so long. Used to being on my own. Call me if you need me, but I need to find my way to another life.
listening to the Chris College Show Millennial Talk Show, and that is Chloe Wilder, and that's her track, Call Me If You Need Me. And I love everything about you. So what I'm going to say is, Lana Del Rey, move over. We got a new young rising star coming in.
Wow.
We love you,
Thank
fam.
you.
No, you really got something going on, and much success to you, and keep in touch because we love you, fam. And for all the listening audience that wants to check out your music and follow you on social media, where can they follow you at?
I am Chloe Wilder everywhere. Chloe with no H, CLOE. But yeah, you can literally find me everywhere. I'm everywhere.
Love it, fam. Love the pink aesthetic. And hopefully we'll catch you around in the future on the Chris College Show Millennial Talk Show.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so
Ciao,
much.
Bella.
Peace, Chloe.